Good morning, everyone. Today it's our last full week of school and we're going to make some really cool slime that is fluffy. So slime, what is slime? Well, slime is a polymer, like a plastic, and you make it when you get use something like glue, which is a kind of polymer, and you add what's called an activator. An activator is some kind of substance like borax, boric acid, sodium borate. These is one kind of chemical that when you mix it with a polymer like glue will make all the little polymer molecules. Remember we talked about molecules, these tiny little things that make up everything that we see around us. They get all these little molecules to join up together like hooking a bunch of paper clips together, and then you can stretch out the glue plus the activator to get stretchy and pliable. Remember, that's another one of our new words, and we can mold it and shape it and make it into anything we want. So adding shaving foam, this is a slightly different recipe. The shaving foam makes it feel really extra special, and we're going to make red, white and blue because that's very patriotic right now, and who doesn't want to put color in their slime? So what we're going to use is we're going to use some white glue. We're going to use washable white glue is fine, Elmer's, that's great. We're going to use some contact lens solution. Now, if you bought this, it has to say on the ingredients that it has boric acid or sodium borate in it. So it's the boric acid that is the real activator in here. Okay, we're going to need some red and some blue food coloring. We're going to need some baking soda, just a little bit. You're going to need shaving cream. I get the sensitive skin kind, but it doesn't really matter what kind you have. Cheap is the operative word. You need some measuring cups. You need a cup size measuring cup. You want a quarter cup size measuring cup. And you want a tablespoon and a teaspoon size measuring spoons. Okay, so let's get our act together right now, shall we? Okay, oh, and you need some spoons to mix with, and since we're going to have 3 different colors, you probably need 3 bowls. 3 bowls are a good idea. So I have a whole bunch of bowls here that I'm going to use. So let's start out. Now I'm going to just make 1 batch in the beginning, and then right before I add the color, I'm going to divide it up into 3. That way I don't have to use so many ingredients, since I need to do this experiment many times. But you can repeat it if you want, using the same proportions for each color. Okay, so let's start right now. We have 2/3 of a cup of white glue. Okay, so I'm going to put the white glue into a bowl. Okay, here it is. See how it's kind of sticky and it flows? It's not like slime though, it's just like a regular liquid. A slime can act like a solid and a liquid. That's one of the cool things about it, depending on how you handle it. Okay, so there is our white glue. Okay, now we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, but we're not going to make anything explode. So this is just to add to how easy the consistency ends up, I believe. But let's see. Here's my 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, there is water in this recipe. I'm not going to use the water because I want to have some colors in here. And if you put water in, the colors don't stay separate so well. So let's see what happens. Hopefully, it won't make that much of a difference. I'm going to stir in the baking soda. Okay, get it all nicely mixed up. Okay, so I don't see a pile of white powder sitting there. Okay, it's a good idea to have a plate or something sitting next to you so you can put things like gluey spoons on them. It's a good idea. Now, we're going to add the shaving cream next. We're going to add about the same amount of shaving cream as we added the glue. So that's 2/3 of a cup. Now, when you're shaking shaving cream, you've really got to shake it up pretty well. Otherwise, it's going to dribble out of here instead of coming out as a good chunk. Okay, now measuring out shaving foam is kind of weird because it's a foam, so it will fill up very quickly, but I want 2/3 of a cup of foam. So let's see. I'm going to give it a little trial run on here. Ooh, looks good. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move that over here. Here's my shaving foam, 2/3 of a cup. Ooh. Now, you can add more if you want, or less. It depends on what consistency you like your slime, okay? So, I'm going to put the shaving cream into the slime with my spatula, and then I'm going to mix it up, okay? Doesn't matter what you use to mix it up. You can use a spoon, you can use a wooden spoon, a metal spoon, you can use a rubber spatula. Now, it looks really cool right now, I have to say. It looks really cool. But again, it's not slime yet. It's just a fluffy, gooey mix. Okay, I'm trying to get it mixed up pretty well. Much fluffier. You see how it takes up a lot more room in the container. Now, at this point, I'm going to divide up my foam. So I want to have 3 bowls. This will be my white, this will be for my blue, and this one here will be for my red. And I'm going to dump 1/3 of my white glue into glue and shaving foam into here. It's all going to be pretty approximate, so do it until it looks until you've got about the same amount in each container. Okay, all right, so now this is a point where you're going to add the color. All right, so keep separate spoons for mixing now. Otherwise, all your colors are going to mix up, and that won't be so much fun. So I'll have a spoon for, well, I don't need a spoon for my white. I'll have a spoon for my red and a spoon for my blue. Okay, so red, let's put red over here. Now you just keep adding the food coloring, a couple of drops at a time, until it looks like the color you want. This is going to be kind of pink. So, but I don't want to use too much either, because, you know, there's only so much food coloring I have to play with too. So that kind of looks more pink, really, doesn't it? But that'll be okay. I don't mind. Red, pink, and blue. That's fine. So there it is. Now, I'm trying to be fairly quick with this, because the thing about shaving foam is actually soap and air. And eventually, there's a lot of bubbles in there, a lot of air, and eventually the air's going to come out and disappear, and we can't get it back. So the soap will end up looking like just regular soap, and it won't make your slime fluffy. So here is my blue. Okay, I'm going to mix that up. All right. Nice blue. So these are fairly muted colors, which is fine. All right, so here we go. All right, so we have blue, red, and white. Now we have to turn them into slime. Okay, now for this, we're using contact lens solution that has sodium borate or boric acid and or both of those. And I only need 1 1/2 tablespoons. So I'm going to start out one at a time. I'm not going to do them all at once, okay? With my white, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. Just 1. All right, going to fill this up and then pour it in here. And then I'm going to mix up right away if I possibly can. Okay, so you can see. And I'm waiting for, oh, right away. It feels a lot stiffer right now. A lot stiffer, a lot gooier. Wow. Now you see how it's already got a kind of a sticky, gooey look to it. See how those strings are forming? Now that wasn't there before, okay? I'm going to wait until I get everyone right. I'm not going to then put a tablespoon at each of the others. I'm going to work on the one I have to get it just right, okay? I'm going to add another 1/2, just actually less than 1/2, because I've divided all this up. So I'm just going to add a little touch more, just a touch. And now I'm going to mix that up. Do it slowly and carefully, okay? Slowly and carefully until you get something that looks like it's going to be a fun bunch of slime. And mix it all up in there, definitely. Okay, now you see how it's already looking much more like slime. I have a ball of fluffy, gooey, sticky, amazing slime in here. I'm leaving the white in there. Now I'm going to work on my pink. Again, I'm going to start out with a tablespoon. See how that does. Add it slowly. Mix it up right away. It's going to start, it starts to feel stiff and heavy. And when it starts to feel stiff and heavy, don't stop. Tempted to just pick it up and look at it right now. Don't do that. Mix it all in first until it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl. This is much like chemistry. This is chemistry. I mean, much like cooking. Getting a particular consistency of slime. You don't want it too stiff. You don't want it too floppy either. I think I may need just a little drop more. Okay, you've got to be very careful with this stuff. Can't add too much. And it depends on the brand of the contact lens solution too. Some of them have more sodium borate than others. So that's looking good too. It's starting to pull away, looking very slime-like. I'll put that over here. And now finally, my blue. Let's go for this. All right, here's my amount of contact solution. Oh, that's not quite full. All right, pour it in. Mix it up right away. Wow. Well, that took pretty well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to need to add any more contact solution to that now. I did with the others, but not with this one. It feels right. It feels stiffer. If it's pulling away, you see how sticky and gooey it looks now? Whoa. Okay, so here up, and it came right out of the bowl. So that's certainly ready to go. I'm going to put that in my tray right now. And in fact, I'm going to put all of them in here. Woo. Side by side. Woo. All right, here's the pink. Now, in order to protect your hands, if you don't want them to get too sticky, if you keep working at the slime, it won't be sticky after a while. But if you don't like that feel of sticky in the beginning, the stickiness on your hands, put some baby oil or... Oh! Okay, well, it's slippery. Okay, got it. Put some baby oil or lotion on your hands so they won't feel so sticky. Okay. And here is my white. It came out pretty well. Wow. Now, so right away you can see that, all right, there is the slime. Okay, cool. So, now here is the point at which I am going to take my gloves off and start getting my hands into this. I'm going to put a little bit of baby oil on my hands, not too much. Right, not too much, because I don't want to get the slime all oily either. It's just to protect my hands, just a little bit of oil. Always less is more with this. Okay, here we go. Now, which one shall I do first? Oh, I'm excited to do this. Wow, that feels, well, it does feel very sticky. You have to keep playing with it, and whoa, it certainly does feel very sticky. But if you keep working at it, it should eventually roll up to something that just looks like a regular ball, and you can have fun stretching it and watching it go into a liquid, squishing it, breaking it, having it drip. And it really feels very exciting and interesting. Very interesting. So that is my white. I'm going to peel it off my hands right now. The more you play with it, the less sticky it will become. Okay, and it doesn't really matter how much oil, how much contact solution you put in. It's more a matter you have to work at it to get it to be unsticky. Okay. Right. Woo! Well, you can see it's a lot of fun. Woo. All right. Now, what we can do is we can, and it just like pulls right off my hands if I rub them. Just 1, 2, 3, just like that. It's not like it leaves anything behind. Okay, now what we can do is just line all these 3 up together, and it's going to look so cool. So we got the white and the blue. Now the blue is not sticky at this point. It feels pretty good. It feels soft and like it's just right. Same with my pink. It's not sticky particularly. It just feels soft. It's a little stickier than the blue, I'll be honest with you. But right now, what we're going to do is I just want to show you the 3 of them all together. And the idea is that you play with each one and see whether you can make some cool things that have the 3 separate colors in, okay? Now, when you're done using the 3 separate colors, if you want to mold something, a ball, you can make a statue, you can just put it in your hands and let it drip through. See what happens when you mix all of the colors together. That could be very interesting lesson in color mixing. What do you think you're going to get? Because the colors are going to mix together. Well, we know that red and blue make purple. So we can see whether if we mix up the slime, we're going to get purple. You can add more white. You could put it all together and see what colors you end up with. Now, they don't have to wait red, white, and blue either. You could have chosen any colors you want, okay? So the slime ends up feeling not sticky at all, just quite a little bit foamy, and you can just touch it and it doesn't stick to your hands at all. And then you can mold it and do all kinds of cool things with it, and just generally have fun. Okay? All right, I will leave you to enjoy some red, blue, and white slime. Have fun with it. Keep it off the furniture. You can put some glitter in this if you like. There are other things you can put in here, but I like to just play with it with my hands. It feels really good. Enjoy. Bye.